Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to get started on the Lightning Collection Dino Thunder Yellow Ranger. Now it's crazy because I was asked why am I not reviewing Lightning Collection anymore, and that's not true. I totally do review Lightning Collection. I've just been incredibly busy. And more importantly, I got slapped with like $400 worth of charges in Lightning Collection stuff, and nothing has shipped yet, which is crazy because between all the places I pre-ordered with, like I haven't gotten everything yet. Like this is just one of the items I've gotten out of like the 15 that shipped. So it's pretty crazy to me because it's going to be a lot to review, and I don't think I'm going to get around to all of it. But I am going to do Dino Charge. I said Dino Charge. Wow, Dino Thunder Yellow Ranger, because I keep making mistakes, and you guys will point that out. So yeah, let's talk about it. One of the things that I want to talk about in package, right? So when you get her in package, her skirt is going to come ridiculously high waisted on her, which is wild. So what I did was I heated it up and just pulled it down because the skirt actually ran up here. But I do like that they cut it in a way that now articulation won't be ruined, and the plastic is soft enough that way when you lift the leg up or lift it outward, it's not an issue. As you can see here, splits are not an issue. Running forward should not be an issue as well. Doing jumps, splits, anything like that. So as you can see here, articulation wise, there are some improvements. Now, as far as what we're getting at it, I still think that Lightning Collection and Legends can catch up by just doing what the classified line has done and giving the female bodies a. This one actually still is a much better ab crunch, and I believe it's a little easier because it's a suit thing, so you don't have to worry about breaking a mold, right? But articulation wise, between the butterfly joints, the better waist articulation, the female bodies have a much greater room for improvement right now. Like, look at this. This looks utterly fantastic as we can hit ranger poses or sentai poses with little to no issue. Like I said, once we get to the classified line, for instance, I have Zorana here. Once we get to that point where we have this bottom waist swivel right here, I don't think Hasbro's literally going to be murdering a lot of other lines because the potential for articulation will be fulfilled in a lot of other ways. Especially now that we have butterfly joints for the female characters, we can do rider kicks with no issues. There's boot swivel. A lot of this stuff is really fantastic, and I love how it moves. Especially now that the necks sit higher and give a better form of articulation. I'm really excited for this. Ah, this is so nice. And it's nice to review Lightning Collection again. So I'm glad I started with Dino Thunder Yellow. We are almost finished with the team. We have one character left. That's Dino Thunder Black. And unfortunately, there's been terrible news as of late. I don't want to get into that. But, it sucks to hear that kind of thing. So it makes you really appreciate the heroes you have. And I feel like we should all be doing that. We should give people their flowers a little bit sooner and not after they're gone. So with that being said, we have our nice articulation. Oh, I actually didn't go over it. I've been talking this whole time. So we have better neck articulation. We have butterfly joint. We have bicep swivel. We are double jointed in the arms, and it is pinless. We have greater skirt mobility. We're double jointed with thigh swivel as well here. And we also have boot cut here as well, and generous ankle pivot. So we are in a place where we're getting some of the best Lightning Collection there is right now. With all of that being said, now we're going to jump into a little bit of our accessories, so I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, now accessory-wise, I feel like we get a nice batch of stuff. I think the only thing missing from this line is probably going to be the paint apps. As you can see on our Morpher here, let me just change that focus ever so quickly. We actually don't get any sort of paint application on our Morphers, and that's really tiny. So shout out to Art with Toys, who painted my Morpher on my my Dino Thunder Red. So that was dope, and I appreciate that. And as you can see here, for our accessories wise, we will get an open hand. Let's actually change that focus. Sorry about that. So we will get this nice open hand. Again, not painted on the backhand part. Same thing for these hands. You'll also get a martial arts hand here as well. And then we will get our open hands for action hands. So you don't get any closed fist. You will, however, get our sidearm blaster. This can be stored right here on the side. And then we actually have her actual weapon. Again, unpainted. Then we will have a blaster shot for the said sidearm. And then we actually get an unmasked sculpt, which I do enjoy that they've pretty much included everyone has ever been unmasked without like their mask, and I like that. This actually looks really good. It probably just needs a slightly less glossy paint, but I actually do like the sculpt as well on it. So with that all being said, what we are going to do now is get ready to jump into the size comparison. So I'm going to use, as normal, I'm going to use a male character, I'm going to use a female character, and then mix it up with some other lines, showing you what it looks like next to some SHF as well, too. So let's get to it. Alright guys, now we jump to the size comparison. I think I have a nice little bit to compare to, so let's do it. First, let's compare to our teammates. Here's a Bari Killer, aka Dino Fury White. Right? Then we have Red. Alright, and I believe they didn't fix the neck issue until we got to Blue. Since my Red isn't standing, I'm going to swap him out and swap Blue in, because he's actually standing with no issue. Right? And it could just be my leaning tower table. But as you can see here, looks pretty good. Don't have any real issues. Believe the height really works out, in my opinion. Not too small, but also not too tall. Now, if we want to compare it to some fellow stuff, I do have Red Ranger Trini, right, from the Tooth Pack. And I wanted to use that because that also uses some of that new tech with those drop down parts and those double joints in that nice waist area. And as you can see here, I think they fit in pretty well. Her helmet is actually much bigger, and that's because it's meant to actually swap on to the old Red Ranger. Oop. So I'm actually going to pop that off because I feel like it does not match up really well. As you can see, you heard that pop. Next up, we're going to compare to a Putty and a Red Ecliptor because we want to use some bad guys so we can see that height difference, right? So here we are with a Putty who somehow leg warped forward. There we go. And then we have Red Ecliptor here on the side. I also have a Parantis head so we can see how a monster of the week kind of lines up. All the monsters of the weeks are like all different sizes, so it's really nice to just pick one. They're all pretty much larger than our Rangers. So here we are with Red Ecliptor, and I like this. They're not like, I like it when stuff is different sizes. I feel like if everybody's the same height, it's boring. There's no uniqueness to it. If everybody's like, one guy is 5'7.5", another guy is 6'1 3/4", I feel like it works with the level of change and forced perspective and the fun you'll have. Here we are with a Parantis head, looking gigantic over our Yellow Ranger. So I do like where this is going, right? And then on the other end, we have a bunch of other stuff. So then we have stuff like Kamen Rider Revice, which for Kamen Rider, which is SH Figuarts, this guy is actually a little bit bigger. I haven't even gotten around to reviewing him as well either. So this is our Thunder Gale form. And an SHF is actually bigger than a domestic for once, which is very rare. And that's only because she is a smaller character to begin with. Next up, we have SHF Kamen Rider Kuga in his Titan form. And as you can see, he is barely taller than her. So again, I like where this is going. Not everybody has to be the same height, and you can mix it up, right? Then we have stuff like our domestic stuff, and this is where it gets pretty cool. Here we are, which I believe is Shriek from the Life Foundation, a Marvel legend. And then we have G.I. Joe Classified Zorana. As you can see, different heights, different wears for different people. Next up, oh, this one is cool too. In case you wanted to do like Mythic Legions, like Evil Knights and stuff like that, for your dinosaurs. Here we are next to a Mythic Legion. Here we are next to a male Marvel legend. I chose Spider-Man because he's who I had out. So yeah, there are literally a ton of different options that you can go with, even with Mezco. Like if you did right Mezco Me on the Gomez body, there are plenty of other options for you to see what you are getting into. I think that wraps up everything I have right now. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, having fun with me along the way. For those of you that stick around, there will be a bonus blooper at the end, so please enjoy that. And as always, for real, thank you guys so much for always watching, hanging out, coming through. It really does mean a lot. So as always, please be good, do good, and drink your water, guys. Later.